I happen to have a background in evolutionary biology, so this is the kind of thing that is like my catnip. Um, and maybe like, how would you describe this kind of evolutionary biological approach, this almost like alternate biology kind of approach? And how did you get interested in this kind of thing?
So, I mean, I think what the field I'm kind of working in with this is I think speculative evolution as espoused by writers like Dougal Dixon, who is kind of often regarded as sort of the father of the genre. I guess, although I was aware of Dixon's work from decades ago, I was kind of put onto the speculative evolution thoughts myself by Gould's book Wonderful Life, where for those that don't know it, he describes the Burgess Shale fauna, which is a very well preserved set of fossils from the very early Cambrian, about 500 million years ago, which basically doesn't look a great deal like anything that later evolved, but that does seem to include the roots of every modern lineage, including vertebrates, and a whole load of other stuff as well. And his point was that the way things went isn't the way that things necessarily were going to go, or even were likely to go. And he's really making the case for there being a huge amount of chance in evolution rather than it being this kind of manifest destiny sort of progress towards humanity thing that we are frequently kind of encouraged to think of it as. And so, as someone who is extremely fond of invertebrates anyway, who frequently get the short end of the stick in any kind of evolutionary narrative, I was very interested to look at, well, what if we had a dominant invertebrate species? And the work on the portioid spiders by Fiona Cross spurred Children of Time out of that. But also, as you say, Doors of Eden is very much the book that I go completely mad for this stuff. And it has at least a dozen separate potential evolutionary pathways through Earth's history that end with entirely different species as a dominant sapient species in the planet, some of which do better than us and some of which do worse than us, and all of which stand as kind of an interesting contrast, hopefully, to the way we do it. And of course, at the same time, there is also a plot going on with characters where these various evolutionary timelines start to bleed into our world, and we start getting things from other evolutions.
No, I
turning
love
up.
that.